Hello dear viewers, today in our video we will touch on a rather interesting and multifaceted topic. How often a man needs a woman? This question is often on the minds of both women and men, and sometimes the answers can be quite surprising. Why are we talking about this? I didn't randomly decide to record this video. Every week, girls come to me with various questions on this topic. They start discussing their worries and the myths that men think only about sex and want nothing more. Therefore, I encourage you to watch this video until the end. We'll explore many interesting facts and myths, and also think about what place a woman holds in a man's life. Get ready for a real analysis. Myths about male sexuality. There is a common belief that all men think only about sex. They walk down the street, eat, sleep, and are constantly dreaming about having sex. If you have ever thought this way, give this video a like. But in reality, this opinion is quite exaggerated. We can talk about several groups of men who really seek something deeper in sexual intimacy than just physical pleasure. Yes, for some men, it may be the only way to escape from stress or other problems. Let me give you an interesting example. The story of the monkey. Let me tell you about this monkey. This primate has a high level of stress and mainly calms down through sexual activity. It can have connections with several partners in one day, up to 60 contacts a day. This is funny, but the comparison with some men is also quite relevant. For some men, sexual intimacy is a way to cope with stress and anxiety, just like for this monkey. However, don't think that if your boyfriend or husband wants sex several times a week, he necessarily has some issues. Such things depend on the individual circumstances and needs of each couple. What about men who don't need sex? Let's also talk about another category of men who may not need sexual intimacy at all. There are those who consider relationships more important than the physical side. Perhaps they are just engrossed in their work, hobbies, or even addicted to video games. This is where conflicts begin. Women often complain that their men show no interest in sex at all. On one hand, such behavior can cause dissatisfaction, but on the other hand, perhaps he is simply content as things are. The importance of communication. A key point in any relationship is communication. It's important to find out what both of you want and what each person needs. Yes, sometimes men just want to sit with a beer rather than make love, but of course, they may also want tenderness and romance. It is essential to find common ground and openly discuss your desires and needs. In some cases, when a man approaches his girlfriend with the intention of having sex, women may feel afraid to refuse him, fearing that he will go to someone else. However, this approach can lead to resentment towards the partner and to the sexual life in general. Therefore, it is important to set honest and open boundaries in your relationship. Learning about each other. One of the most crucial aspects of successful relationships is the desire to learn about and understand each other. A man and a woman must create special rituals together that strengthen their bond on both physical and emotional levels. For example, one guy told me a story about how, when having sex with his wife, he used to be too pushy. But when he started to caress her differently and show affection more gently and lovingly, she responded to his feelings completely differently. This approach relieved tension and opened new horizons for both in their romantic life. Don't be afraid to experiment. Sometimes people fear new things in the bedroom. I assure you, many mishaps due to experiments bring more laughter than shame. For instance, nobody is immune to ending up in a comical situation during hot play. That's okay, because life is full of unexpected moments, including intimate ones. It is always important to remember that a happy couple is one that can talk about their desires and experiences without experiencing constant fear or awkwardness. Common language. Each person's sexual experience is unique, so how often a man or woman needs intimacy varies greatly. There are couples who are in harmony, having sex once a month, while others do so daily. Everyone chooses their own path, but what is truly necessary is the desire of both parties to grow and meet each other halfway. Try to speak the same sexual language, maintain a dialogue, and not hide your true desires. Otherwise, serious misunderstandings may arise, negatively affecting your shared future. As you can see, the question of how often a man needs a woman does not have a straightforward answer. Everything is individual. It is essential for you as partners to share your ideas and aspirations, nurturing genuine closeness and trust in each other. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Thank you for being with us and see you in the next episodes.